Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are? Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember? It does look like you took a pretty hard blow to the head. You're just lucky you've been given a second chance. Which is why I feel terrible for what I'm about to say, but I have a favor to ask. There are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped, or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him? If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please? Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know? Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean? Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you. All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen. You're welcome. Always happy to help. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber. He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is. Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al... What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me. Great. So you're ready to go look for Al? Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place." Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or a warning. Al Worth. Whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options: death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now and find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina? Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you? Oh, I see what you did there, changing the subject like that. Nice try, but I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine? No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait, are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here. We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from, exactly? Hey, not so loud. Just saying that name could land you in trouble here. If you haven't heard, his cultists burned down half of Rome last year. Horrible business. I heard Nero executed some of them, but a lot of people are still angry with them, even down here. So, if you're one of them, keep it to yourself. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So, let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming? Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it, and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Galerius, you're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the golden rule. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the golden rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. He's up these stairs.
Oh, another one fresh out of the baths, I take it. Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone. I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she... You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest, and my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Scintilla. Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy. I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance. Ugh, you're awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago. In good time. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Well, I'm not sure I believe that. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please. An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire, and we must honor the peace of the gods. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper. I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape. I have made my pronouncement on this. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering, but I would be keeping a close... You see, in my search for a way to save my people, it's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong. 2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us, of this city? I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times, but it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it. Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people? I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other. Ah, so you know about that already. That was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the Golden Rule. Still, if you happen to find her and well, all right. There are those who wish, frankly, their selfishness and recklessness. You mean you couldn't speak Latin before you arrived here? But the gods are active here, and their temples and shrines hum with power. Perhaps when Proserpina brought you here, she planted the seed of Latin in your mind so that you could better serve her. An unbeliever, then? If you come... If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should... If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the... Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your... All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice. In this case, I don't suppose... I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the... Well, thank you for your care. Good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you? No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not... Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come... Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
That may be an Do I need to ask Horatius to escort you?
That's some lamp.
Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
Why do I get the feeling you lot had something to do with Centilla's disappearance?
That's it. Blame everyone but yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor sweet girl, not even the Golden Rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
Ha! As if I'll be afraid of you, little man. What were you two talking about? Don't play dumb. I saw you. What's he offering you? Money? Favour? A spit of a fauna career. We've lined up all the votes we need already. Mark my words, Malleolus is going to be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you've sided with that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory... Good, then stay out of it. Nobody likes Caput. Can't hurt. Her name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus, you go through me. Why? Because I am... I think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected. He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you... Because if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man... Old man Sentius got you already, did he? Well, I'm not talking... Ossinculio mio. Ossinculio mio.
On your best behavior, I trust?
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?" The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office. And then you would find a way to satisfy. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily. Let's do it your way. You just keep. You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about. Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed. Older. I see. I wonder. I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've... Have you spoken with any of the others? About... I really think you should. Go around. I know. I just don't want to see what... Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes. She was always so chatty, always seeking out new... And then, about a month, she withdrew, stopped working and became despondent. But she just looked at us with this haunted stare. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. But there is a small chance that she learned... I just don't want to see that... Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth. Come back to me when... Keeping an eye on things, Horatius?
As always, priestess.
Any news about Centilla, Navia, or Kabash?
No sign of any of them, Look, we do have a newcomer.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of Sylphia, and I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile. That'll be 1,000 denarii. There was no way I could have... Then that toad shrugs and says, supply and demand. I guess you don't value... Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here, with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on up, and now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the gold. Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from... Get me that Sylphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from Well, come back if you get sick or injured.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the... Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we? You mean, how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale. All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave. Fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close... See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an... So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most... All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then. But, to my surprise, we make it. But the captain's happy to take my coin. So I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my... No, too heavy. The cart or the girl. So I did what anyone would. The girl? Weren't you listening? All my valuables or the girl? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening, and in one swift motion she topples a whole... No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was... Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a... I couldn't agree more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back, and this place... Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how... I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia... Some people here are a little shady for my liking. Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have? Certainly. All I ask is a reason... That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and say... Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it. Hear what? You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things... She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and... But I digress. Do you want this silphium or not? Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule and would... Do you think I don't know a bluff when I see one? Nice try. Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your... Very well. Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Oh
That's
my!
some lamp.
I've never seen a lamp like that. Praise Apollo.
Such an extraordinary lamp. The future. Ah, you've returned. Do you have any new... Ask then. You mean you... But the... Good. Of course. What is it? Are you sure you've spent enough time investigating to make that? It looks like you'll have to continue. Sextus Sentius Imperiosus. Before I wound up here, my men and I were at the Emporium in Rome.
Keep an eye out
As
for
on a
Sentius,
guard,
would you?
now the port is usually bustling, but just they were trying to escape a terrible fire. And the next thing I knew, I was waking up. I went looking for my horse, and just... Very well. Thank you.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. I'm... Oh, Bacchus. Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry... Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. And if it doesn't work, worst thing that could... But don't worry. Oh.
Ixion turns.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cumbulatus decius won't give it to me. What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing, and at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle? A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said, time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with... I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable. My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my... So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins, and I could barely see for the smoke. And the streets, the next thing I remember, It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating, and while there's no shortage of snakes here. Gladly. Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad. Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery. This changes everything. She kept... The last time I saw her, the last time any of her, and then she shut herself in the... She's been gone so long now, but I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only... One of my patients is suffering from terrible... I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like... He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his... I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace. Really? That would be one...
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort. You have to do something. Fabia, but now's not the time. Are you going to help? Or... None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's... You'll just... I have to hide. Hear what? What? Ugh.
Fabia, no! Oh gods, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her! Oh Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl. I can't believe she is dead. Fabia, I mean. The gods are cruel and unjust. She was like a daughter to me. I'm sorry, friend. I can't believe she is dead. The god...
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is? I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's bid, is that understood? Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place? A small community. Ha! I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult. Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuary. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now. You say that, but if you're not a cult, then... So you admit you're not allowed to leave. Threatening me is not going to help you, but in any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." A distinction you've clearly been in. Now tell me, where did you lot get a... You lot are practicing human sacrifice too. Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do, isn't it? Our God told... It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with... However, you still have a chance to redeem. Very well, here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible. All I know, all I care about, is that the Emperor... This is your last chance. Then you're of no... Do you have any last words? And there's a simple explanation for that. But if you want to know the truth before you die, once I'm done with you and Quinctius, I intend, and I can think of...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salvage. Oh. Yulia? Oh no. All right. I'll go, but once I'm done,
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this, but it does not. The bloodless shadows wander with some the house of the ruler of the depths. The bloodless shadow. You think you wish to know. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal. They never. The newly arrived are.
Oh! Ooh.
That's some lamp.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment. Too bad. I'm glad you asked. See, he's a busy man, and this is an important... Left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed. Dunno. Something good. Bribe? That's such an ugly word. What I'm looking... Hey, Caput Murde, just make it good. Or Sinculio, just make it good. Yeah? If you set one foot... Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to... So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for... One day, a few weeks back, he comes out... Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him. Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. So I go down after him, and hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. A creature. If it was a man, maybe. But I swear, more like a Strix. What any sane person would have done. I legged it. Without a weapon.
End it. Kill me.
That's my room. Leave before I call Horatius. Oh, I wish Horatius would... You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watched... But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let... Oh, I'd say it to their faces if they had the courage to show themselves. Did you hear that? Curse you, you cow! What do you have? No response. I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father... Oh, and I suppose I'll just have to take the... I trust you can see yourself.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I... We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule. I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only... his... Ah, look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now Now, I assume you sought me out again for a Of course. What is it? Yes? Why do you say that? You seem to be grasping at straws here. I can assure you, she is most upset about her sister. It looks like you'll have to continue. Of course. What? Yes? What? An assassin? Then what are you doing here talking to me? Why aren't you out there trying to stop? As magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome. Any way you can, despite my weapons ban. It's been my experience. I don't believe so, no. Thank you. Please act quickly before...
Whatever are you wearing?
Ave. We'll speak again after you've carried out my order.
On your best behavior, I trust? What is it, citizen? I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughters. Daughter, I should say. I also keep a register. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. Then some Genetricum fugitive tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the... blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended... Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said. That said. He's one of the better commanders I've ever had. That's for sure. Treat your inferior as you would wish. Can't ask for much more than that. I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. To bear trials with a calm mind robs me. I don't see why not. Of course. Not that it's any of your business. Unfortunately. See, Domitius has... The man's a savage. Sentius knows about... This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But... I suppose it is. All right?
So you survived the cistern. Probably just a stroke of fortuna. Don't get cocky.
many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
So? Oh. You? I'll... Salve.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia on Tigris. Babylon province. Same way as everyone else. Because we're all... Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm.
Great temple majestic?
Stupid. If you were dealing with what I am... Nobody is supposed to know about that. Did Lucretia tell you? Gah. Look, I haven't been at my best lately. All my joints ache constantly, and the pain. I get stirred up by things that you want to help me. Do what Lucretia hasn't been.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like... We've all been where you are now. I used to lay awake at night, contemplating the big questions. Why am I... I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the garden. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even... But long hours of menial labour for the good of the community has... Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome, 7 months ago, we were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but unfortunately, there were a lot of desperate people, and they boarded before. A scuffle broke out, and I was pushed overboard. I woke up by the river, near that shrine. Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me. If you like. I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern. I don't put a lot of stock in such rumors. If that doesn't work, then I suppose we're all... I hope it works. The many shall... I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbours as ourselves, and do to them... But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of... And that's where I get stuck. You don't think that's a little naive? Innocent men and women, torn apart. I wish I should. Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year. And... Oh, thank you. All right, well, it was lovely to meet you.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him. Thank you.
I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe he went through with it. Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I'd best pray for poor...
and your Majesty. Yes, thank you, I'm delighted, and... Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressively... Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me? I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech. I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's... By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by... Wait, don't tell me you... The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you... What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be... I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people. True, but that is simply because you are mistaken. I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. You mean the children's fable? I trust you can see yourself out. Through the door this time? There's a key. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected.
You're not supposed to be in here. Talk. My marital affairs are no concern of yours. I think a better question is, why am I being in... I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men. Preferably the way you came in, by which... I think it's about to... Finally! This is outrageous.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Everybody run!
Salve, friend. Well, you lead. I'll go.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
We're finally alone. I assume you already... We have? Wait, Is that about right? Seems rather brash. Of course. Yeah. Why do you say that? You suspect. I confess, I don't have a lot of sympathy for Ulpius, but it looks like you'll have to continue. Of course. Yes. Why do you say that? Indeed. That is abhorrent. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but well then, in that case, as magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of... Anyway, despite my weapons ban, it's been my experience one... Thank you. Please. If you're snooping around in my possessions, you're wasting your time.
That's some lamp.
Salve. It's terrible for inflation is what it is. Of course, I have an idea for generate. I've scoured this city for... Oh, well, technically yes, but that just... No need to decide on anything yet. Just... Very well.
Ah, a new face. Salve. I hear we have you to thank for saving Julia's life. Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I would help out with repairs and try to stop old. But you probably don't want to hear. Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of... I saw enough friends killed or driven away, so I hid who I was for. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until, needless to say, since I'm now living, my openness didn't go down. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, or at least I thought that was the case. It's not just graffiti. The strange thing is, I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So, if I had to guess, I'd say it. Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considered... If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating... You wouldn't believe how often there are much, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single... Some people say it's divine. the work of a god. I mean, once you've been here, which means one of two things, and I'm pretty sure. Fair enough. Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some... My vote isn't for sale. Nice to talk to you.
Salve, welcome. All right, well...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your ballad...
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
Please, help him. Thank...
You know about that? How is... Well, you don't understand. I don't... It's too late for that. If I backed out now, I'd be... Oh, really? That changes things a little, but we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Julia and I are in debt bondage to Malleolus. So... Really? Wait. You'd do that? It seems today... Thank you, friend. Thank you. Oh, I just wish there was some way I could repay you. I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Julia the good news.
What you did was extraordinary. Ah, that...
What? All right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
Stop right there. I'm look. You're right, I am. I must be getting a reputation. I suppose I might. Do you have any last words? Well, I'd say that's rather convenient, since I'm...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
And I must say, my leather boots, I have... And...
Don't you just love springtime?
Is this a riddle, or perhaps you mean to say you feel like we will have much time? My story? How kind of you... You mean to say, with... I'll tell you, it is precise... I say, the more... A good question. I remember I rented a prestigious villa and we began. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange This time, I remember people screaming. When I regain my faculties, I will... Indeed. In any case, it seems that I went to find firewood for his campfire. Anything you like. I hope that...
Don't you just love springtime?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes. Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we... Sure. Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then sure. Glad. I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not just don't get sick or injured here. That's a shame. Thanks again for...
Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. Was there something you wanted? As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, It's just not safe for me to talk about it. The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. Please, just... Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, she was supposed to be my friend. I told her, so she suggested I take out a loan from Malio. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her hemlock. It's a deadly poison made from a plant. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no... She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying. In fact, he just thanked her. Of course, I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break. He locked me in his villa, confiscated everything I owned as collateral. His wife, Claudia, was just as bad. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean. Those two took everything from me. My hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the... When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will... Only this time, I won't be able to lull my... Honestly, it would have been better if the poison... I doubt it. It seems this is the... At least until someone breaks the golden... A lot. But it doesn't matter. He's in exactly the same position as I... He's probably already... If so, I'd never be able to... I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so...
On your best behavior, I trust.
We're finally alone. I assume you all... We have? I must have entrusted you with Is that about? Ah. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now... Now, I assume you sought me out again? If I did, I'd have... I've had plenty of time. I've always considered my guiding star to our survival and prosperity. Give the gods what they want and we all prosper. The real enemy in this place is not the golden rule. I trust that... Of course. Yeah? Why do you say... So I'm told. This is true. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. But before we... Well then, in that case, as magistrate, I hereby... Any way you can. Despite my weapons ban, it's been my experience one can always find a weapon if one looks hard enough. Thank you. Please.
Oh, don't mind me. I just live here. Oh, I trust...
face. I don't, I'm afraid. I'm quite sure it's the work of the god. We asked for blessings. But here, I find myself... Would you like to hear? I suppose so. Everyone turned them away and failed that test, except... and then wiped that town. Some say the moral of that story, but I like to think it's that we should all... A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not It must be completed. It'll be between Sentius. Why do you ask? As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose... Yes, I have overheard... Very well.
Time for Malleolus to become magistrate.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and Marcus Malleolus Gurges. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Malleolus.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus! Who else?
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus! I said, hail, Magistrate Malleolus! That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius, here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait. I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is. A children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
What kind of trickery is this?
You are... Salve again, friend. I went... How is it possible that you've just... You're toying with me, right? You're a bit like Sisyphus. Yeah. Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart, he was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill, forcing him to start over and over. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them... Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and... Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset, so I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. Anytime, friend. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk. Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. Salve again, my... Now. Oh, I don't give it much thought, but I say, let's spend less... All right.